Hi, I'm here to talk to Lukasz Wilczynski. Lukasz runs a rather famous project called European Rover Challenge. He's been doing it since 2014, am I correct?
Yes, 2014.
That makes it like 7 editions. It's going to be the 7th edition this year.
Yeah, 7 editions.
Starting 10th of September, am I correct?
10th to 12th of September.
So exactly 3 days. We're starting on Friday up until Sunday, and you've divided this into 3 days. Why?
Because the space demands this, because we will have, the first day will be about Mars, and it's natural.
No need to ask the question
of
why.
Course, Martian rovers, but generally Mars, it will be our compass, our destination for people, for humanity, to develop as well. So we will talk about everything concerning Mars, the Martian bases, Martian colonies, how to get there, why to go there. And the second day will be Moon, because the Moon is something that is very unique, and Moon is also very important for the space sector and business. Because we are talking mostly about commercialization of space right now, nowadays. You can see more and more companies going to the market. You can see rising SpaceX, space tourism. So this is about Moon. So we'll talk about Moon companies, the new economy, exploitation of Moon resources, how to build a base over there, how to start a company and why. And the third day, last but not least, but this is very important for us, Earth. What we have from this space sector here on Earth, how the technologies, the space solutions help us here to solve our problems, like a climate one, or just, business challenges. So this will be about the whole program. So
Lukasz,
Mars, Moon, and here on Earth.
At the same time, the name suggests, it's your original name, European Rover Challenge, suggests that you're focused entirely on rovers, which you're not, obviously. Your ambition and goal is to inspire people, to educate young people into following their educational careers along the topics linked to space.
Yeah, we have 2 groups actually inspired by ERC. So one is these teams coming to ERC, participating in our competition, because there are the next engineers and scientists that will, and you are already going to the space sector, and we have this public target, so everyone coming over there, joining us online as well, because you can do both, and being inspired by the space sector. So we can see this kind of next Martianauts, yeah, I can call it Martianauts, coming to ERC sometimes a year in a row, actually, and every year coming and being inspired by what we are showing there, presenting, talking about. And we can hear sometimes from mothers or fathers of these people, well, it's my child's future. That's why he's coming here. That's why she wants to be here. So this is our target as well.
The original concept back in 2014 and later was that you invited teams from technical universities from all around the world, and over the years those teams grew bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And the tasks were that they physically came to the European Rover Challenge along with their rovers.
Yeah.
Basically sometimes impressively advanced constructions, sometimes basic models, and the tasks that they were supposed to fulfill when at ERC was what? What were they supposed to do?
First task is to come, build and come. So this is the most important.
So you bring the rover and you do what?
Yes, and so you have to do actually things that are the real rovers do on Mars. So you have exploration rovers, right? So you have to check something, drill a hole, to look around on Mars, for example. So we have this scientific task. Okay, but we want to go a little bit in the future. We'll have like first Martian base or first Martian, infrastructure waiting for people to come, and something will be broken. So you have to have a rover, mostly autonomous one, to fix it. To fix some electricity, to check what happened. You see the Martian movie, right? And the guy was fixing everything. So actually, the robots will be doing this. So people are building these rovers. So these rovers coming to them, and these rovers are fixing something, checking electricity. So this is another task, engineering task. And of course, there is the task that everything goes wrong. You cannot see what is going on. You have the camera switched, but you have to somehow bring your rover from point A, like coming back to base, for example. So you have to see the map, and this is called blind traversal. So you have to create a trajectory how to go to the point, the end point.
Lukasz, back in 2020, when a lot of big international event organizers essentially had to give up because they couldn't follow up on the original concept of bringing everyone together into a single location, you didn't give up. You decided to rewrite the concept partly. So you used a single robot and you gave access to it to international teams from all continents, essentially, and they could manipulate the robot physically on the spot during ERC. At the same time, you had a bit of a hybrid academic conference about space, inviting lots and lots of experts from around the world talking about the future of space. What did you learn during 2020?
Well, first of all, that we are the team of ERC as well. So when we teach people how to run complex problems, how to solve complex problems by bringing a robot, everything, we have to do it as well. So we treated ourselves as one of the teams, and we have this complex problem like COVID, and we have to do it. What we learned? We learned how to run robotics competitions during pandemic. Now we are doing this part as well as a second part of our competition this year, but we are also giving advice to other robotics competitions worldwide who are mailing us, calling us, how did you do this? We had to stop everything. How did you do this? So we are right now like kind of mentors and advisors, and we're absolutely helping everyone to do it.
And this year, you're engaging both heavy-duty equipment and engineers to construct something special. What is it going to be?
A volcano.
What do you mean, a volcano? An active volcano or just a hill?
Yes. Because our Mars yacht was always piece of art. Year by year, it was getting better, and it's created by planetary geologists based on the research
so
on Mars.
It's a physical space where rovers...
Yes, and we bring the special soil, with hematites. That's why it's so red. There are craters, there are kind of hills, and we always look for, we will take
replicating colors and shades, and you want it to look like Mars.
Yeah, and this is especially like when you look last year.
You want to erupt a volcano. Just a fancy wish for 2021.
There were and there are volcanoes on Mars.
Yeah,
so the last research...
None of them active though.
We don't know yet. Come on, we just see like the piece of Mars. Mars is a huge planet.
Just like we see a piece of moon, and some people have theories about the other part, right?
Everything about Mars, but we know that there are volcanoes because,
Let's forget conspiracy theories for a while. Let's focus on what we know.
We are building volcano, and this will be like reverse engineering based on the newest, the most recent findings, research about Mars. So this is also a scientific you can say work, but this is like it will be scientific paper about that, etc. So this will be very interesting to see the biggest Martian volcano here on Earth. It's the biggest in the world we are doing. 2 meters, at least 2 meters high.
Well, if no one has done it before you, so anything you do is the biggest.
Yeah, but it will be absolutely made, by step by step, just...
So if you want to see a volcano erupting in Kielce, come to Kielce on September 10th, 2021.
Not erupting, just active one. It will be absolutely safe for public. So I didn't agree to have it like a big eruption. I just agree like a little poof, poof.
You don't want to damage the rovers.
I don't want to damage people, first of all, because the people are most important over there, and the people can't go just very close to the Mars.
Speaking of your audiences, Lukasz, who is it for? ERC is historically, of course, for young teams of engineers. It's also for academics. It's also for large businesses active in the space sector. But it's also for kids, isn't it? In what sense?
It always was for everyone. Because we, from the first...
But you know the risk. If something is for everyone, it's for no one, really.
No. Not if you are talking about space sector. Because space sector is everyone. I always say that in space...
Defend your position,
there is a space for everyone.
All right.
So actually space is around us.
It's a fine quib, but tell us, how is it for kids also?
So first of all, we will have also in tents, there will be exhibitors doing some kind of laboratories, some experiments. So there will be some whole exhibition zone, and the whole families with kids can go and see this. And there is whole program. We mentioned that in the morning up to 10 a.m. there is always some kind of educational part, educational movies, experiments, workshops for kids, for example. So because this is the next generation, we have.
Wait a second. What you're trying to achieve here, reading it between the lines, is that just like in the past, in the almost forgotten era, young children wanted to be doctors, lawyers, potentially pilots. You want a lot of kids to be astronauts now and to dream about going to space. Is that your ambition?
My ambition first
is to fly to space yourself.
Maybe. But first of all, I was crushed last year. Really, really crushed. When I heard that there was some kind of research, I think in US, and they asked young people who would like to be in the future. And, astronaut? Nah. Influencer was on the first place.
Yeah.
YouTuber. Come on. Vlogger.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not about being astronaut, about space. It's about being engineer, scientist, about humanist, and being artist, also working for space.
So essentially
sector.
what people want, what young people want, according to statistics and surveys, is to be ever more narcissistic instead of pushing frontiers of science.
Yeah, but my ambition is that we are by ERC and by also my other projects like Space Talks, we are preparing people for the space transformation. Mm-hmm. Let me explain you this, because now we heard about digital transformation. Right? Everything is going digital, companies are going digital, automized, etc. The space transformation will be something that will follow this transformation. So we will accept that the space sector and the space exploration is not some kind of, strange, unique, why we are paying money for going to Mars, for God's sake. Yes, we have to, because this is our future. And
do you honestly believe
Do you know that you are an alien? Thank
you, Lukasz. If you want me to compliment you likewise.
Because we live on Earth. Earth is a planet. So we live in space. We are space people, right, already. How we cannot forget about that?
Which is not the same as calling someone an alien. Thank you again.
When you go to vacation and you are exploring new place,
what's your name?
You are exploring a planet, right? It's like doing
right. It's a change of perspective, isn't it?
Yes.
I suppose it's one of those transforming experiences when you actually do have an opportunity to look at the planet from a distance.
Yeah. The blue marble.
Without becoming philosophical, everyone knows that we die at some point, but nobody really thinks about it on a daily basis. Likewise, this shift in perspective, do you think it will change you once you actually look at the planet from a distance and see it's essentially a ball?
For sure, but really, I don't have to go up there to change my perspective. Because the perspective changes, this is your only eyes giving a signal to your brain. So if you cannot go there, you can just start thinking about that.
But do you honestly believe that...
And you can come to ERC to join people who are thinking the same.
Fine, Lukasz, do you honestly believe most people, the majority of the people you would ask in the street, would tell you, yes, it's critical that we need to go to Mars? Do you think people genuinely understand why it's important, or do they rather think that it's a fancy wish list experience?
It's a wish list. They call it fantasy. They call it that...
so you're basically spending billions and billions
going to some other
planet that has no use for us.
I spend a lot of time asking people in my channel, Space Talks, and this is what we do on ERC as well this year, to show that thanks to the space sector, we already have amazing things here on Earth. We are talking about... One of the argument I hear is like, we have a huge problem here on Earth, like climate change. Well, how do we know about climate change in the first place? From the satellites. Space sector, look. So we need more and more investments into space. We need to more going further, because when we go to further, when we want to build a Martian base, guess what? What do you do with waste on Mars? You know? You have a trash container, you're going outside, like putting trash. Or, make this segregation of trashes? No, you have to think about zero waste, first of all, to go there. When we finally find a way to do it, zero waste on Earth.
Circular economy at its best.
Yes, exactly. Second thing, moon. We mentioned there will be a lot about moon bases as well. The moon, how to build a base on moon or even on Mars. We have to think about in situ resources. In situ means that you use the resources you find in the place, only that. This is like some kind of tribes, native tribes, still do this. We done it in the past when we had been tribes separated. So we are not bringing things to move.
Lukasz, one final big question. That's going to be a tough one.
Okay,
get ready.
Show me.
So the question is, there are lots and lots of potential areas where people from this country, Poles, could be involved in and already are involved in. We are talking about subcontractors for the biggest agencies. We're about specific technology areas where Poland is on the growing trajectory, it's fair to say that. But what is it you think that should be the real priorities for this country's economy and this country's education system, perhaps, to be part of the bigger conversation about space? Where do you see the priorities?
I think that we should stop think about space as something, fantasy,
remote
and something
fancy.
Something that is only in the hands of NASA and other agencies. Poland is a part of European Space Agency. We are the member, like other members of one of the biggest agencies in the world, the biggest space agencies. One thing. Second thing, we have to think about that. We are part of European Union that now has a space agency. There is a European Union Agency for Space Program, EUSPA. So we have a second space agency. We are also a member of this, being a member of European Union. The third thing we have to put on the table is that we have brilliant engineers working already in space, because more and more projects are coming to Poland, not only as a subcontractor of some tiny instrument, but the whole crafts, whole vehicles are coming to Poland to be mounted, for example, right? And so it shows us how they treat us over there in NASA and ESA. They look at Poland and see, okay, let's give this project to these brilliant people in Poland, brilliant companies, institutions, because they know how to do this already. So the first thing we have to start is to find ourselves, we can do this. So let's put our education and whole ideas about, not only STEM, not only how to, but let's put more math, more engineering thinking. Let's accept that we have, if you look at even the students team, Poland has got the most significant number of rover teams in the world.
All right, Lukasz, but there's usually a financial motivation to this equation also. Think about it this way. If you study at a technical university, you usually think of a job you may have once you've graduated, and that will pay your bills every month.
Okay.
But likewise, can you see prospects for someone graduating?
Of course.
Is it tangible? Is it something that you find a job almost instantly?
Of course.
Is it already the reality, or it's the song of the future?
When you go to the space companies' websites, you will always see they are hiring.
So if you don't get a job, blame this guy.
Of course. I have all the information you need. So actually there are work right now, as we are speaking. Right now there are works for engineers, for project managers. Very needed right now. Because we have more projects to run, right? But you mentioned about money. There is one thing I want to give you as an example. You are a programmist, and for sure you will get some job now in Poland, everywhere, right? Sure. You can run programs in some kind of corporation, but you will do it every day the same, with more money. But you also can get a little less, because the space companies cannot compete with these high corporations, IT corporations. You will get a little bit less. But every day, you will work on some special project, unique one, that will change something. What do you choose?
So what you're essentially talking about is the spirit of what Jobs described as stay hungry, stay foolish.
Your work. In space sector, there is a reason why we are doing this. There is a meaning of you are getting up every day and you know why you are doing this. And this is what is amazing in space sector. But also, let's say you are not engineer, you are not programmist, you are a historian like me. You can still make money on space. You can start a startup, or already have a company, and you can use space technologies. In half a year or a year, there will be ESA Business Incubation Center in Poland. Part of ESA Space Solutions will be in Poland, and you can go through this acceleration project for incubation process to use space technology for your business, for some business challenge, and then you can start make money on this technology. We pay money from our taxes. Someone invented, some companies in universities. This is circular economy as well. The higher we go, the more things we will have here, and the more money we can earn on this by downstreaming these technologies here and there.
Hard to disagree. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you have noticed Lukasz doesn't lack enthusiasm when it comes to talking about space and space technologies, but the goal of this event, starting on September 10th, 2021, is to inspire, but also to educate, which means from now on, we'll be posting and publishing all kinds of interesting, inspirational content on the social media of ERC, which is, what address do we recommend to the audience?
roverchallenge.eu.
Which is a website.
This is a website, and you will find everything over there.
So all kinds of
social media channels. You can go there and you can find whatever you want. If you want to go to YouTube, there is YouTube channel, there is Facebook channel, Instagram channel, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can find us everywhere, whatever you want, whatever the platform you would like to prefer. But everything will be on roverchallenge.eu.
And that's all for now. Lukasz Wilczynski, thank you very much, and see you in September.
Thank you.
Thank you.